Sponsored by rxcardclub.com. Get a free prescription drug card and save up to 85% on prescription drugs. rxcardclub.com. The NCAA's big spending problem. The time has come for Power 5 football to break from NCAA's college athletics ready to take on players' unions. If Congress wants to fix NIL, we need more than half measures. Today's guest columnist is Joe Moglia, Executive Advisor to the President and Chairman Emeritus of Athletics at Coastal Carolina University. The NCAA makes some big, frankly incredible, claims about its mission and priorities on its website. Things like coordinate and deliver safe, fair and inclusive competition, provide world-class services to student athletes and members that leverage the NCAA's collective scale, grow the college sports ecosystem, and deliver sustainable funding for the NCAA mission. It all sounds pretty good. It's also a house of cards. Over the past 4 fiscal years, the organization spent an astonishing $234 million on legal fees in battles against antitrust lawsuits and NIL litigation. This is on top of $15 million they, alongside the Power 5, have spent lobbying Congress since 2019. They have little to show for it, apart from a victory in a wrongful death lawsuit related to a concussion. The NCAA has lost repeatedly in court on NIL. A much ballyhooed settlement is in grave peril, following Judge Claudia Wilkins' call for the parties to go back to the drawing board. The collapse of the settlement would be an existential threat to the NCAA, yet all of the organization's spending on high-cost attorneys has failed to yield results. In 2011, the NCAA only spent $4.1 million on legal fees, compared to $61.5 million last year. The organization's investments only generated $2.5 million more than they expended on legal fees last year. This is the business equivalent of a 103-degree temperature. Something is very, very wrong. In what universe is wasting nearly $250 million over 4 years on attorneys, who are fighting against compensation for players, in the best interest of any of the organization's stated values? Adding insult to injury, former NCAA President Mark Emmert was awarded $4.3 million in severance, compared to the $3.3 million he earned in 2022, when he stepped down last year. For what? He did a terrible job running the organization. He failed to lead on NIL, lost in the Supreme Court, and left his successor no choice but to try, so far unsuccessfully, to lobby Washington in hopes of cleaning up the mess. If the CEO of a major company set cash on fire like this, he or she would be sent packing and the board would be in crisis mode. But the NCAA gets special treatment, because it pretends to be a non-profit that protects young athletes. Yet what kind of non-profit generates $1.26 billion in TV revenue? In reality, the NCAA drains money from the system, spends hundreds of millions protecting itself, and delivers little of value to its member organizations or student athletes. The purpose of the NCAA has become the perpetuation of the NCAA, not the protection of student athletes and universities.